For the longest while, if somebody looked at one of my photographs and said, "Wow, Dave, that's amazing," I'd be all set. But over time, and I'm talking in this video about a period of time spanning several years, I started to realise that none of it really mattered. Nobody really cared about my photography. And even though I was picking up followers or subs along the way, it didn't give me that same kind of inner joy anymore. Now, if I'm being completely honest, for the longest time, I blamed you. Not you personally, but the viewer, the platform, the algorithm. It was in late January 2023 that I started to have kind of this light bulb moment. I wasn't making memorable photography. I wasn't giving people a reason to care. I was simply trying to impress people. Right, so I know impressing people doesn't necessarily sound like a bad thing, but it's a massive weight on your shoulder when you are only trying to capture images that could impress people. And the funny thing is, impressing somebody isn't the same as making a long-lasting impression. A lasting impression requires much, much more. Over the months, this was kind of eating away at me, that my photography just had no lasting impression, wasn't memorable at all, and it didn't fulfill my artistic or creative need either. So I thought about the photographers whose work created a lasting impression on me. Something in those photographs that connected with me. Something that provoked a reaction. Provoked me to remember. It provoked my imagination. It provoked my curiosity. It provoked inquisition and questioning. Photographers like Cole Thompson and his Ghosts of Auschwitz series. These series of photos really appealed to my inner fascination with history and my inner fascination with exploring the passage of time. And then there were what I'm going to call mystery box works. Things like Twilight by Gregory Crewdson. These dropped me in the middle of a story. They didn't give me a beginning. They didn't give me a context. They didn't give me an end. They left all of this open for me, for my imagination, for my curiosity. They told me part of a story, but not the whole thing. They gave me gaps to fill in. And then there were works that provoked personal memories, like The Last Resort by Martin Parr. These photographs just instantly whisked me back to being a kid and beach holidays. Whilst all these works show incredible skill, and they are impressive, it's not because the photographer was trying to impress me. It's because the photographer told a story, had a narrative, delivered a personal connection, and that connection lifted them so much higher than any technical precision could ever do. I wasn't giving myself to my photographs. I wasn't thinking about my connection to the subject or how I felt in the moment. I wasn't lending my narrative to the stories within the photograph. I wasn't thinking about how the photograph might speak to the viewer. I was only thinking about how the photograph might impress the viewer, how getting everything right was far more important than telling a story and creating a connection. This all left me with a question that I now ask myself, and it comes before composition or light. It comes before style or technique. It's what's the story? What do I want to provoke? What's the idea? And now I want to pass that question on to you. What's your story? What are you trying to convey or provoke in your photography? What do you want the viewer to think? What's your idea?